Welcome to the Nile Files. My name's Nile, and this is STARCAST, the Star Wars Lookit. All right, look at what I got. So this is the Power of the Force Electronics Power Effects Luke Skywalker's Red 5 X-Wing fighter. This came out in 97 or 98, I'm not exactly sure. But it was the first one that they had done in this new mold. Before this, I think it was pretty much all either the vintage mold or a close approximation to that. So this was sort of the first new X-Wing that we had gotten. Plus, it's almost to scale for the 3 3/4 figures. Not quite, but it's big. It's much bigger than the previous ones. Now, the reason why we're going to get into this a little bit more is because this represents one of those great moments in collecting that you just really hope for, right? So I'm going to tell a little story about it, and we're going to sort of look at what's in the box. At the Vancouver Toy Show, I had gone in. I had sort of done a general once around to kind of see what was there, and there was another ship, an Imperial shuttle, that was there that a vendor had that was for a very reasonable price, probably half of what I see it for anywhere else. And it was really tempting, but it would have been a bigger chunk out of my budget than what I was planning for just one thing. So I said, you know, I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to look around and see what else is here and kind of figure it out. So as I was looking around, I came across a booth with this really nice lady who had a few boxes of carded figures for ridiculously cheap, just to steal. So I spent some time going through those, and she was the one that had this X-Wing, and I saw it up there, and this was another one that was on my list, but I figured it was probably around the same price as the shuttle. I was wrong, but so I didn't ask about it, and I kind of thought, well, I'll make my way back to the shuttle. We'll see, and I'll ask some questions later. So not long after I had gotten my carded figures from her, I did make my way back to the shuttle, and it was gone. So I was like, okay, well, this really is sort of a first come, first serve thing. I knew that, so maybe I should go back and ask about that X-Wing. So I did. I came back to the lady, and real nice. I didn't get her name, but asked her about this and said, you know, how much for the X-Wing? And now you can see how it is, and this is how it looks sitting. It was kind of up tall, a little bit above my head, which isn't much, but above my head. And it looked like this, and I asked how much for the X-Wing, and she said, oh, that's brand new. It's never been opened. In the box, $30. And so a few red flags went off. First of all, that's a pretty inexpensive price for what she was saying, and clearly it had been opened. And just as soon as I was about to say, you know, no, clearly it's been opened, her friend, who I think she was doing the show with, but had a table to her back facing the other way, kind of came over and said, no, that's the one that's been opened. Everything in it's gone, but the entire ship is in there. That's what she said. Everything in it is gone except the entire ship is in there, which is a weird way to say it. But then she said $15. Well, even at $30, I was tempted because the box is worth near that, and I thought even if only what I see is in there, I might be able to farm the rest of the pieces for relatively cheap. I wasn't sure, but she said it was all in there, and then when she said $15, I'll take it, because at that point, no matter, I mean, even just what I can see, it was worth that. So I took the box and I took it to my car. I didn't look inside. I just figured it was kind of a bit of a grab bag, and we would look at it when we got home. And so I just put it in. I went back in for another round and came home, and I actually didn't open this right at first because, to be honest, I really assumed that it was just going to be maybe the fuselage, right? Just the main part of it and nothing else. So I got home, I'd gone through some of my other things, and then came across, it came time to open this. And I'll pretty much open it here and kind of go through almost the same experience I had opening it for the first time. So let me grab my little utility knife here. All right, so we'll just kind of go through it, like I said, a lot of the same way I did when I went in. So when I reached in, you know, one of the first things obviously I would pull out is that fuselage, and here that is. So, you know, that was a start. Okay, and the sounds work. That's a good start. Let's see what, and then, okay, this is weird. There's a second fuselage in there. So now I'm kind of starting to worry. I'm thinking, well, this is really weird because, you know, now is there even going to be enough for one ship? I'm sure there won't be enough for two. So I just kind of started reaching in, and there's literally, it's just an empty box. There's no packing whatsoever in it. No plastic wrap or anything. And there was a lot of crap in here. And I just thought, you know, no way. No way. But I think we're going to go ahead and put them together. And I made jump cut or fast forward or something. We'll see. But we'll put them together and see what we ended up with, right? All right. So there you have it. 2 complete electronic Power of the Force Xwings. Absolutely complete. And they look fantastic. Couldn't believe it, right? I don't really like to talk about price so much because it's sort of relative, right? Whenever things go up, things go down. But you know, in spring of 2017, these go loose out of the package for around $50 or a little more. In the box, they go for upwards of $100, a little less, a little more. Like sealed in the box, I've seen those even up for a couple hundred, but not for $15 and not for $7.50. That's for sure. So really, the big question was, do they work? And they actually did not come with batteries in them, which I was kind of happy to see, you know, so no leaking or anything. But so put batteries in them, and they both work just great. It's just fantastic. So they have, I think, 12 different movie sayings, and when we do a closer, you know, look at these another time, we'll get into everything it does. The only thing that came up is one of these, one of the lights in the engine is burnt out. That's it. Otherwise, they all work. Yeah, okay, so that one doesn't do the lights during this one. But so we might do, you know, kind of like maybe a flame out mod, maybe get some smoke coming out of that, or something, or maybe get in there and redo some electronics. I don't know. We'll see what we do. But couldn't be any happier with these. Just a great addition to the collection. These will make for some great props, some great dioramas. So excited. Couldn't be happier. Just another great moment in Star Wars collecting. That is for sure. So thanks for looking, and bye.